What's going on, everybody? It's Charles out here at Pull Apart. I'm actually pulling the dimple dash out of this Cabrio. This is a part I'm using for a project, but it's a pretty high value part, and parts like this can be really great for flipping. In a previous video, I showed you a handful of parts that are super easy to flip, and today, I'm gonna show you a few more. Now, when I come out to the yard, I'm usually looking for a specific part. But there's also a handful of things that I keep my eye open for. Things like new parts, cars that may be unique on the yard, cars that are newly set on the yard. And that brings us to our first flip item, wheels and tires. In that last video, we talked about a bunch of stuff that's small, lightweight, easy to ship. Wheels and tires, however, are not that. But it can still be a really great way to double your money. You can get a whole set of wheels and tires for around 150 bucks, and I found this set of wheels online for around 300. Now, you may not want to go to the trouble of packaging and shipping wheels and tires, so these are a really great one to list locally, like on Facebook Marketplace or on Craigslist. Something else awesome to keep in mind is no matter what size or make the wheels are from, you're going to pay the same amount. So really keep your eye open for a set of wheels and tires off of a Highline car. You can probably even make more money. Even though this wheel and tire is a little bit dirty, spending a few minutes, they'll clean up really, really well. And you don't have to buy a set of 4, you can buy these individually. Next up, let's talk about emblems. It could be a really cool kind of vintagey hood emblem like this, a trunk emblem, or really anything around the car. These are going to be super simple to ship, easy to package, lightweight, and oftentimes very easy to remove. This one came off easier than it probably should have. This is gonna run you about $3, and selling it online varies anywhere from about 15 to 30 bucks. I mentioned in the last parts flipping video center caps, and I'm bringing it back because really this is probably the easiest and most profitable part on the entire yard. Also, I kind of hit the jackpot and found a car that has a full matching set. Not only are these super easy to take off, they run you about $5, and they sell online for about $25. And not $25 for a set, $25 each. That means if you spend 20 bucks on 4 of these, you can sell that potentially for $100. And these are also in really great shape. We'll barely even need to clean these up. I did mention that these are super easy. Watch how easy this is. All you need is usually a small flat blade screwdriver, go right behind the cap and pry it right off. And here's our bonus item, a valve cover. Now, it may seem kind of intimidating when we jump under the hood, but removing a valve cover is actually pretty easy. We really lucked out, and somebody did a whole bunch of work for us, but the process of removing most valve covers is going to be very similar. You'll find that most are held down with a handful of fasteners. Some may have either spark plug wires or ignition coils that you'll have to remove. Usually those will pop right off and you can move them out of the way. You might also have some vacuum hoses or electrical connectors that you'll have to get out of the way as well. And luckily, most of these can really be done with just basic hand tools. Now, this valve cover is gonna run you about 25 bucks, and I found one on eBay that sold for $70 plus a whole bunch of money on shipping. Once we remove that part and get it home, we can spend a few minutes just cleaning it up so that it really stands out in our online listing. I just gave you a few great parts to flip. Here's 3 key things you want to keep in mind. Number 1 is to do your research. I actually thought antennas would be a great flip part. They're small, they're lightweight, they're easy to remove, they break all the time. However, in doing that research, I found that you're probably not going to get a ton more than you pay for it. But it's still a great item if you end up needing to replace one on your car. In your research, make sure you're checking year, make, and model. Just because this particular antenna wasn't worth a whole bunch doesn't mean that another car's antenna couldn't be a great flip item. Number 2 is to look past the dirt. You're gonna find a lot of parts that may not look awesome out here on the yard, but with a little work and a little cleanup, you can make it look great. And I would do that on a part I'm gonna put on my own car, or if I'm looking to flip it. Taking that few extra minutes to clean up those parts can often lead to making even more money when you sell the part. Number 3 is to keep trying. You might not knock it out of the park on that first sell, but the more you do it and the more experience you'll get, you'll start to really develop the eye to find those hidden gems out on the yard. Now, if you're just getting started, I would say start with what you know. Finding those niches can really, really make this a lot of fun and super easy. And the whole point, right? Put a couple bucks in your pocket. Okay, I gotta get back to it because I got a few more parts that I need to get. Happy parts flipping. Let us know down in the comments. Were you able to flip something and make a bunch of money? Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll talk to you again next time.